Thank you for joining me for our unboxing and reboxing today of Arkham Horror, the card game. This is the revised core box as currently sold. As currently sold now in April of 2025. This is a card game of arcane mystery and supernatural terror for 1 to 4 players. And now we will take a look and see what's in the box here. This is a co-op game. The timing says that it would take 45 minutes per player. So it is 1 to 4 players, so it'll be faster for 1 than for 4. We first open the box. We have a Learn to Play booklet. This book has a lot of text, and I will have to do a lot of reading to learn how this works. This is a 24-page book for Learn to Play. Then for the rules reference, we have another very fine print. This is maybe an 8-point font. And it is, with maybe 6 points for the index. This is a 32-page book. Then we have a campaign guide for Night of the Zealot. This is a campaign for 1 to 4 players consisting of 3 scenarios: the Gathering, the Midnight Masks, and the Devourer Below. And for these, there are rules about how to set up the different decks, it looks like. Here we have 2 punch boards. These punch boards have a whole bunch of different tokens on them. And then we have 9 different card decks wrapped. We also have these cards here, which are double-sided. And we have this velvet bag, velveteen bag, not exactly sure the right name of that. So if we go and look at the Learn to Play here, it says that for the components, we should have 44 chaos tokens, 61 resource tokens in 1s, 3s, and 5s, 57 clue doom tokens, double-sided 1s and 3s, 40 damage tokens, 27 horror tokens, 1s and 3s. So that is what is on the punch boards here. And then there is this chaos bag. So the tokens vary on how many you put in the bag and how many you leave in the box. So we don't want to put the tokens in the bag all the time, I believe. So what we are going to do is just punch them into this container here for right now. So as you can see on this punch board, all of these tokens are double-sided, but they appear to be the same on both sides of each one. This also is one of those games with a proof of purchase on the board. So if that's important to you, you're going to want to make sure you keep track of that as well. So that was all the tokens punched out. Based on how the first gameplay setup looked like, about having the different tokens available in different piles. I'm thinking that it's quite probable that what I'm going to be doing is building little boxes or little containers for each one of the types of tokens, to make it easier to have a really quick setup for this game. Since we are basically going to be having this out as a copy that different people are playing rather than it being a specific person's box. So these are the 5 investigator mini cards. They are color on one side and the same image in black and white on the reverse. It says that there are also 5 investigator cards. And we saw the lead investigator token was the Pentagon shaped piece that went in here, this one. So there are 245 player cards here and 111 scenario cards. Take a look at what we have here. So this first set of cards has this type of back here, this design. And it looks like these are enemy cards here. This is a treachery card, enemy cards. Okay, these are numbered at the bottom. So this particular deck is numbered starting with 142A and going down to 182. But there's multiple of some numbers. Okay, this deck starts with 120. Okay, this deck starts with 120A, 121A. Oh, they've got double sides. Okay, so 120A, 120B, 121B. Okay, so in this first deck, some of them also were double-sided. That explains the A and B parts. Okay, and a bunch of them are also numbered, such as 1 of 18, 2 of 18, etc. So this deck is also in numerical order by the number in the lower right corner. This part goes to 136. Then these go 169 to 174, and then 137, 38, 39, 40. Let's make sure it's okay to have mixed these cards up or see what we need to do to record the order of the cards. Okay, so the way that these cards work, the numbers are useful because the book will tell you which cards you need for what. So for instance, here we have a list of cards needed for the gathering scenario, and it's based on the numbers. So it says how many numbers there are that we need, and then you gather all the ones that are needed for that scenario. Some of them also have little icons to help you. But most of it is based on these numbers down in the corner. So for instance, the numbers down here, whoop. So in order for this game to be used by many people, probably the most useful thing to do is to store them in their number order. But because I'm not sure if it's easier to set up from this current order, I'm just going to leave them in this current order. So we've opened, so I believe that these are the ones needed for this scenario, and these are the ones needed for this scenario, based on the top cards. This is the Midnight Masks, and this is the Devourer below. but because they have numbers on them, we can easily sort them back out if needed. And this one is the third scenario, the gathering. Like the others, it is numbered in the corners. Now this set of cards here has, these are player cards. So we have events and assets with different numbers on them and all different colors here. Events and assets. And some treachery cards, weakness cards, okay? Again, these are numbered down in the corner as to what number they are. Some of them have the same number, and those that have the same number do seem to have the actual same content on the card, which is helpful. So there's no concern about mixing those up. And then these are the starter decks. It said there's 5 starter decks for each of the investigators. These are also numbered, and in the rules, there is a sheet for if these get mixed up, which ones should be in this deck. So it has a good list of the investigator, events, and assets, skills, and weaknesses that belong to each starter deck, as well as a helper card. So there's a helper card for each starter deck, and then all of the cards that belong to that starter deck, topped with the one for the investigator themselves. The investigator card is double-sided, but most of these cards are this black background with circles. So this is the deck for Wendy Adams. And again, because these will probably be played initially together, I am going to leave them rather than putting them in numerical order, but that will allow them to go back later. This is Agnes Baker, the waitress. This one is Skids O'Toole, the ex-con. And inside these starter decks, the cards are in numerical order by type. So first we have the, for him, we have the event. We have an event, we have a weakness, another weakness, and then we have the green assets and events, and then we start counting over again with the blue ones, etc. But they all have the numbers in the corner for re-identifying them. The starter deck for Daisy Walker, the librarian. And then this is the starter deck for Roland Banks, the Fed. Now I'm going to slip the mini investigator cards back into their little baggie here. And we're going to put the chaos bag back into the box. There's plenty of room here, I believe, for future expansions to go into the same box. But again, I think we're going to take up some of the space by repackaging these tokens into a more usable fashion, since they're going to need to be separated out for actual gameplay. But for reboxing, at this point, all we have to do is put all the rules books, the learn to play, the rules reference, and the campaign guide back into the box. And we can close it on up. Thank you for unboxing and reboxing Arkham Horror, the card game, with me today. Please hit that like button and that subscribe button, and come back and see us for more unboxings and gameplay footage.